I think Taito might take the title as the weirdest publisher on the Famicom Disk System. Not for the individual games. Kick and Run is a soccer game. It's going to be a soccer game. What's made Taito unusual for me in the library is that as the disk system has been fading, they've been publishing pretty good ports of arcade games. They're not using the disk system as a dumping ground, and the games that they're releasing would probably do pretty well as cartridges. So it's weird that they keep doing this. As I mentioned, Kick and Run was an arcade game first, and the primary difference between the arcade and disk system versions is that the disk system received the necessary graphics downgrade. You get your pick of national teams when you start out, though they all play exactly the same. I chose West Germany to begin with, because it's 1988 and it's probably my last chance to play as them. And then there's 5 skill levels and how much time you want each half to take. Regarding that time, it runs a lot faster than you might think. Now obviously, most video games at this point don't have you play soccer matches in real time, but it's really fast in Kick and Run, something that seems to be taken from its arcade source. And on the field I made a bit of a discovery with Kick and Run. It's surprisingly good. I'm not going to say it's a must-play that will change your world, but I've played a lot of really weak 8-bit soccer games, and Kick and Run has some really smooth, dynamic action. This is a game that plays fast. You're zipping up and down the field constantly. It's never choppy or flickery, and I feel like the things that I had problems with here are more skill issues rather than control or game design problems. When you have the ball, A shoots straight forward, and B passes it around. I actually had quite a bit of trouble passing, just because your opposing team is often right on top of you, and snatches the ball away. Doing the directional kick with A usually slid right past them. If you don't have the ball, then A slides, and B does a little hop to try to block a ball that's in the air. When a shot is heading toward the goal, you'll automatically switch over to control of the goalie as it approaches. And that's one of those things that gave me a bit of trouble, because you could be chasing it down and then suddenly switch as the shot is coming in, and just not be ready for it. Once the half is over, you're given the opportunity to watch a halftime show. That's right, it's not automatic. You have to specifically say that you want to watch it. Getting the option to skip 30 seconds of animation that are completely unnecessary for the game might be the single greatest innovation that Taito ever came up with. Kick and Run has a couple of other modes. There's a penalty kick mode where all you do is shoot penalty kicks. You can set how many penalty kicks every side will get before you play, so it doesn't have to be the default 5. And Kick and Run has a 2-player mode, of course, but it doesn't have to be player versus player. You can also have both players team up and take on the computer. Unsurprisingly, as a sports game released on the disk system, Kick and Run doesn't have a lot of fans in Japan these days, though I did find a few people praising it as a pretty good arcade port. And as I said, it's a very good soccer game. If I got this in 1988, I would have been thrilled. Okay, maybe not thrilled because I really wasn't a soccer fan, but still, if I liked soccer and I got this in 1988, I would have been thrilled. Its biggest flaw is that sports games don't age well unless they do something really different. And in this case, Kick and Run is just a very well executed, action-based soccer game. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just something that won't catch a lot of people's eye.